Hello everyone, today I'm working on this super nice U30C. So it looks a little bit dirty, but I think it's gonna be okay. It's got its horn, most of the handrails are there. It's got a little bit of damage on the front here, so I'll be repairing that. But other than that, it looks like it's gonna be fine. So this is the old kind where the couplers are part of the gearbox, and they have these imitation knuckle couplers, which I think Fox Valley Models bought the molds for this. Used to be a Precision Masters. Anyways, these work okay for me, so I'm not changing that. So I'm gonna start by a good cleaning. To remove the shell, there's some plates down here that you can pry on, just like the SD40. So you can use the box, or you can pry on these plates and the shell comes right off. And the drive system, everything looks good here. I'm going to take my shell and I'm going to wash it with some water and dish soap and my toothbrush. You don't have to take it apart to clean it, but it came out really good. It was just a little dust. And my handrails, they are damaged. Probably this little guy was dropped. So I'll be fixing this up. But in the meantime, when my shell dries, I'm gonna work on my drive system. That too's gonna get cleaned. Probably it runs okay, this engine. So start with the light shields and the light boards. And then we'll take care of the gas tank. Then we'll be able to separate the frames and get to the trucks. The trucks, I do a good cleaning because that's what gives you optimal performance. I really like the way these run. This is why I buy them, because they run so good. So good and so quiet. I'll just spread out the frame. Actually, it really wants to spread out on its own. So obviously, this goes to the outside of the locomotive with the coupler. So you don't have to take care of the order too much. The contact strips, if they fall out, that's okay. Inside the engine, everything looks to be in really good shape. I'm just gonna put a drop of oil just to say that I did something. So just a drop, that's all you need. And that's it. So this too is gonna get clean with my toothbrush. But the wheels, I give them a little bit more attention. I clean them with my rag. And these little couplers, the Fox Valley Models or Precision Masters, they actually work for me. I have half of these of mine have rapidos, and the other half has micro trains. So this gives me the option to have either micro trains or rapidos. But since they work for me, since they're decent, I will let them go like that. Just checking inside the journal boxes there. There's a little bit of dirt, but nothing too awful. Also, you can check on the wheel side. Sometimes stuff accumulates here. So when I take it apart, I remove all this stuff. There isn't a lot. It's nothing to write home about. So we'll go clean that under my toothbrush with some soap. The wheels don't look too dirty, but it never hurts. to get in there and make sure everything's perfect. My rag doesn't look too dirty. So that's good news. I'll finish the 4 others off camera. As you put them back in your gearbox, they're interchangeable, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And then we'll put the contact strips. The 2 little holes on the top here, they go over these brackets, and that will hold your wheels at their correct height. Actually, when everything's set up, the wheels actually don't touch the gearbox. So that's why it's such a free rolling engine, and that's why they run so good, and I like the way they sound. They sound so quiet. It's absolutely a brilliant design. And then check it with your fingers after to make sure. You should feel no resistance whatsoever. Awesome stuff. Now I'm ready to put everything back together. Look out for these insulators. You need them. If the 2 sides of the frame touch, you get a short circuit and your locomotive won't go anywhere. Then I can bring the trucks back in. Before I do that, I want to make sure to put my contact strips. And that goes over and under. So over this pin here and under this little guy here. And I can put my trucks in. And I use gravity as my friend. I'm also going to make sure that my contact strips are lined up properly because I'm going to introduce my gas tank here. So if I'm happy with the way my contact strips are lined up, then I can go ahead and introduce the gas tank. See, now this one's not in the correct spot. So I'm gonna fix that, put my trucks back. Hey, this happens to the best of us. But it's worth making sure, like I said, that everything's lined up properly before you bring in your gas tank. This is the time to do that. And then the gas tank, there's a section here. The wall's a little bit shorter on that side. That goes towards the front of the engine. And then I check it again also now to make sure that I'm happy with the way it's going. I'm going to reintroduce my screws. Put the screws back in. I have a nice Phillips screwdriver somewhere around here. So these, I'm going to tighten them. They don't have to be very tight, because remember, it's just into a plastic nut. So they don't have to be very tight. Yeah, actually that feels perfect. So the headlights go back on. And also the light shield. And I'm going to test this on the bench just in case. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be awesome, but at the same time I want to check my lights. Directional lighting, it's pretty neat. That sounds amazing. At this point I can do my cosmetic stuff for my shell. So I suppose this part here I could glue it back together, but I don't feel that that's going to be a big problem, because the lower part of the sills, it will hold everything at its place, so it won't be annoying, or actually it won't be annoying me. So I don't think I have to glue it. It'll just be held there by the sill. But I am gonna be making sure that it's aligned as I push it in, though. That I really want. There. Now I'm looking around this carefully to make sure that everything's lined up properly, because I'm going to be putting the other part of the shell back on there. Don't forget your horn. That's very important. There. That's much better. And I don't know if you can see where there's a little bit of overspray under the shell, that it's like greenish. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but this Brunswick green, to me it really does look black. But Kato took the time and the effort to make a perfect Brunswick green. It actually is awesome stuff. To repair my handrails, I like to use these recycled tie wraps. I guess you get them with garbage bags. I get them from my dry cleaner. So that's what I like to use. They're the correct diameter, I find, for N-scale handrails. Plus, it's cheap. I even checked to see maybe there's a replacement part available for these handrails. I might get one because I consider this to be a valuable engine. So if I can get some, I think I will. But for today, I'll just make a repair using my recycled material. So you just pull on this, then it reveals your wire. And it's very malleable. You can pretty much just straighten it out with your hands. So that's a good tip. You run it between your nails and it'll straighten it out. So I'm gonna use the rear handrails to make the shape. And then once I got the shape perfect, I'll bring it to the front and I'll cut it. See, now I've made my shape. I'm just gonna bring it to the front and cut it to the proper length. Now I can just glue it in there with some crazy glue. That's gonna look real good. Go easy on the glue, you really don't need much. My dishwashing machine is running, but now what's left to do is to make 3 stanchions. So they'll just look like that. I'll just stack them on there with my crazy glue. At this point I can come in and just snip the top with my nail clippers. And then I can just come in and paint the rest. We're almost done here. So I'll just do some painting off camera. Now my repair is complete, so all I have to do is put the shell back on. That should go back nice and easy. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.